Some roads run through haunted towns. Some shipments carry more than just cargo. And some truckers never reach their destination. Jax Carter, was a seasoned trucker who'd driven cross-country for over 15 years. He didn't scare easy. But on a cool October night under a blood-red moon, he got a job offer that made his spine prickle. A solo haul delivering antique furniture from a derelict estate in New Mexico to a collector in Oregon. There was one condition. He had to drive through Widow Creek. He'd heard stories. Everyone in the trucking world had. The town was wiped out in a flood decades ago. But sometimes, people claim to see lights in the ruins, shadows standing on rooftops, and the bridge, collapsed long ago, reappeared under moonlight. Jax laughed it off. Superstition. He took the job. He shouldn't have. The sun dipped behind the desert hills as he approached Widow Creek. A chill ran through the air, unnatural and sharp. His radio began picking up static, then old-timey music. The town emerged from the dust, crumbling buildings, a burned-out church, shattered windows. But the strangest thing was the bridge. It was whole, clean, like it had just been built. Jax crossed it slowly. Fog rolled in. The lights on his dashboard blinked. His trailer thumped violently. He looked in the mirror and saw a child standing in the road behind him. Pale, head tilted, smiling. He kept driving, fast. The fog thickened until he couldn't see past the hood. He wiped his sweaty palms on his jeans and reached for the radio. A voice came through. "Don't stop, mister. They'll catch up." He froze. The voice was that of a little girl. He looked to the passenger seat. There she was. Her eyes were hollow, her hair wet. A deep gash ran down her throat. She pointed to the trailer. "They're in there." Against all reason, Jax pulled over and opened the trailer. Furniture, covered in dusty sheets. But the air inside was ice cold. Then he heard it. Whispers, weeping, rustling. One of the sheets lifted. Underneath was an antique mirror, tall, cracked, and wrapped in chains. His reflection was smiling, but he wasn't. Back in the cab, Jax noticed small changes. The mirrors reflected different weather. His GPS spun in circles, and his own hands began to tremble and twitch. At 2:09 a.m., the truck stopped responding to his controls. The steering wheel locked. The engine revved on its own. The girl appeared again. "You're not the first," she whispered, "and you won't be the last." She vanished in a blink. Jack saw figures walking along the road now, tattered, burned, drowned. They stared as he passed. Some reached out. One slapped the window hard enough to crack it. He drove faster. The lights flickered. The road grew darker than black. The bridge appeared again. This time it was burning. He had no choice but to cross. Smoke curled through the vents. He passed the church again. It was whole now, its bell ringing. The mirror in the back glowed red. Then his trailer door flung open while he was still driving. Screams erupted from inside. The mirror was pulling them out. Shadowy shapes, claws, tendrils. And Jax was next. He tore off road into the desert, heading toward distant headlights. Another truck stop. But the sky turned crimson. The girl stood in the road. He swerved, crashing into a ditch. The truck died. The whispers turned to growls. The mirror exploded in a flash of light. He stumbled from the cab, bleeding, limping. From the wreckage rose the spirits, charred, hollow-eyed, skeletal. One stepped forward, a woman in a widow's gown. She pointed at him. "You brought it back. You broke the seal." Behind her, the mirror stood upright, untouched. It pulled her in. Then another, and another. Jax was the last. He awoke behind the wheel under daylight. The truck was pristine, the trailer empty. The map on the seat now showed a new route, one that didn't exist before. He was heading west, always west, No matter what exit he took, the road just curved back to itself. And every night at 2:09 a.m., he sees the mirror in his rear view, smiling, waiting. If you ever drive through New Mexico and see a town not on any map, keep driving. Don't take the bridge. Don't look in the mirror, because Widow Creek remembers. And it always wants more souls for the road. Story number 2. Sometimes the road you take isn't the one you planned. Sometimes it's the one that takes you. Veteran trucker Ray Dalton thought he knew every mile of Route 66. For 30 years, he'd driven the historic highway, seen storms, breakdowns, and even a tornado. But nothing compared to what he'd face one strange night in Arizona. He had a simple haul, auto parts from Flagstaff to Albuquerque. Clear skies, no traffic, just one turnoff to avoid due to recent landslides. But as midnight approached, his GPS blinked erratically, and a new route appeared, a detour. One he'd never seen before, Route 666. He blinked, laughed it off, hit accept. The laughter would be short-lived. Ray found himself on a narrow road, lined with twisted, rusting wrecks, burned-out vehicles from every era. His headlights flickered, the night thickened, the stars disappeared. Then came the smell, charred rubber, old blood, and something worse, rot. His trailer groaned. Something shifted inside. He hadn't loaded it himself. A figure emerged from the road haze, a man in a torn suit, thumb raised. Against better judgment, Ray stopped. The man climbed in silently, pale, mud-caked boots, no shadow. He whispered, "They buried the road." But it never stayed dead. Ray blinked. The seat was empty again, but the door was still open, and the smell was stronger now. He pulled over to inspect the trailer. Inside were crates, each marked with a red X. He opened one, bones, twisted and scorched. A hand fell out, fingers still twitching. The trailer door slammed shut on its own. His cab radio came alive, static at first, then a voice. "Thank you for delivering the condemned." Ray hit the gas. He passed a neon sign. "Welcome to perdition. Population." The town looked abandoned, but every window had a face watching him, screaming without sound. He heard whispers behind his seat, then a scream for the trailer. The radio blared, old carnival music. He shut it off. It kept playing. A rusted toll booth appeared out of nowhere, straddling the road. Inside sat a woman with stitched lips. She held out a gloved hand. "Pay the toll," her voice echoed in his mind. He offered money. She shook her head. Blood. A knife appeared on the dashboard. The truck wouldn't move until he pricked his finger. He bled onto the toll slip. The gate opened. Mirrors showed a different cab, burning, melting, filled with skeletal passengers. Ray felt pressure on his chest, hands clutching, invisible. He began chanting words he didn't know. His mouth moved without control. The GPS showed final stop, underworld logistics. The truck drove itself. Flames danced along the road now. The pavement hissed under his tires. Spectral wolves ran alongside him, their eyes glowing red. He recognized some faces in the fire. Old friends, dead drivers. One mouthed, "Turn back," but the wheel wouldn't budge. The hitchhiker appeared in the side mirror. "You're almost there." The road ended at a massive lot filled with parked trucks, each with a driver still inside, dead, frozen, screaming. A red-cloaked figure stepped forward. "You've done well. Now, park and stay." Ray tried to resist, but the truck locked him in. Chains grew from the seatbelts. His breath fogged the glass. One last scream escaped. Every night at midnight, a truck enters Route 666. Every night someone accepts the detour. The trailers always look normal. The cargo is never safe. Some say you can still hear Ray's voice on CB radio. warning others. But it's always too late, because the devil's detour never ends. If your GPS ever shows a road that shouldn't exist, don't follow it. Don't take Route 666, because once you do, you'll never find your way back.